typhoon that killed more than 1,200 people in the Kanto and Izu regions in 1958.
This is a disaster.
The agency has issued an emergency warning
Hagabis.
for landslides in Tokyo and Izu, Shizuoka Prefecture.
You need to get ready.
The meteorological agency is forecasting
Move to higher ground, they're
rain
saying.
through Saturday, with a severe risk of floods and landslides. And it says winds could reach record speeds in some areas.
It's already a disaster.
Predicting storm surges along the Pacific coast of eastern Honshu from Saturday through Sunday.
You gotta get to higher
The
ground.
agency has issued heavy rain emergency warning this afternoon and calling on
1,200
people to do
died.
everything they can
They
to
reckon
protect themselves.
this is already
If people feel
already
it
a
is too
disaster.
dangerous to move to emergency
1,200
facilities,
died
JMA is
in
calling
the
on
past
people
with
to move up to a higher floor or find a nearby
the
strong
recent
building.
typhoon.
We will provide you with more simultaneous translation.
Oh, Jesus said the sea will roar. Luke 21:25. After the Jews repossessed Jerusalem.
Warnings have been issued.
It's a final sign
have been issued in these
of the end of the world, the
places.
sea roaring. Salos
As of
is a
5
Greek.
p.m. today, flood danger warnings have been issued to rivers in Arakawa,
Sea in the waves roaring. These are end time signs.
River in Higashi Matsuyama Observatory, and for Tamagawa at the observatories and
Huge
Otawa,
tidal
Shufu City,
surge.
and for Asakawa River from the
40
observatory
foot high.
in Hachoji City, and for Sagamigawa River
Coming in.
the
Winds
observatory in
160.
Atsugi, and for Kikugawa from the observatory in Kikugawa City. The flood danger warnings have been issued
Huge
by
flood
local
warnings.
authorities
Every
in
river.
conjunction with
Tokyo, the whole
central
lot.
government. If dikes
It's all
collapse
just about
and
bursting
water
their banks
overflows,
now. And it hasn't hit
water
yet.
may wash away residential houses.
typhoon
so
hasn't
it's
even
very
hit.
dangerous. And for example, for a major river like Arakawa, if the river floods, even if you're quite far away from the river, the flood water may reach you. So people who live near rivers, it is important to get away from the river as soon as possible.
I said
But
this,
roads may
I've
already
been
be
warning for
flooded.
days. I had
So
a
when
dream
you are
about
trying
this
to evacuate to a
in
safer place, please
last
be very
Saturday.
careful.
That's a week
This
ago.
is Sagamigawa River, a live view in Chigasaki City. Water levels have already become very high.
I
The
saw
water level
Tokyo Mountain Fuji.
has risen. It is very dangerous. So even if it is not
Fuji-
raining where you are,
Fujikawa
the rain that
Ko
has fallen upstream may come down the river and may flood your
is in
area.
danger.
Caution is required.
At the foot of that
Here is
huge
our weather
volcano.
analyst on the forecast for rain. This rainfall
You should
or
move
disaster
away and
is said
live
to be
with
the kind that only
grandparents
hits
or
once every
something.
several decades. And if
On
we look
higher
at
ground.
floods, there may be floods, or the risks of flooding is very high in the large rivers such as Arakawa, Irumagawa River, Tamagawa River, and Tsumigawa River. These rivers may flood in some places anytime. Some parts along the river are very dangerous. The rain that falls in the mountains will flow into the large rivers, raising water levels. Therefore, the risk of flooding rivers is very high right now, and that may trigger very major disasters. And let's look at the rainfall over the past 48 hours in Hakone Town and Kanagawa prefectures, more than 826 millimeters. That is more than twice the amount that falls in a month in a normal year. And the rainfall over the last hour,
That's a disaster already.
in Shizuoka prefecture,
There's no way
more
you'd
than
want to
50
stay in any of those
millimeters per hour. That
places
is
where
very
the
heavy rain.
rivers are going to flood.
Let's look at the forecast for rain.
Unless you can get
after
up to
this.
higher levels.
This is the current
And then the high
forecast.
winds will get you.
Between Tokai and Kanto Koshin region, there will be active rain clouds over the area. And more on the rain forecast at 6 p.m. today, between Shizuoka Prefecture and the mountains of Kanto, there will be very active rain clouds, and the rainfall will
the
be more than
rain's the
50
biggest killer
millimeters per
when it
hour,
causing
which is very
floods.
heavy. And around 7 p.m., there will be heavy rain in similar areas.
Typhoon
And at 8
Hagabis.
p.m.
Hagabis. I had
in the
a dream
Kanto
about.
region and in other urban areas.
See, I saw them when I woke up. I didn't have a dream. I actually woke up and I actually saw
In
Mount
Hakone
Fuji
Town
a week
and
ago.
Kanagawa
It was a
Prefecture, there will
strange
still
thing.
be active rain clouds, and the rain will be extremely
I
heavy.
couldn't understand. The
And
volcano
around
wasn't
9
erupting
p.m.
in my dream, but
in
wonder what.
western Tama in Tokyo,
Well, when I woke
torrential
up,
rain will continue to fall.
wonder why I saw
And
it.
beyond
So
this, around
I've
10
been
p.m.
posting for the last
in
week
the
about it
Kanto region, particularly in the inland areas, there will be
on
very heavy
YouTube.
rainfall. The rain could be torrential. And if we
This is
look
a
at the rain
disaster.
forecast beyond that, 11 p.m. today, in the inland areas of Kanto, there will be very heavy rainfall. And
We had a
after
late
that,
storm in the UK
around
once,
midnight
in the
and
1980s.
beyond, along the Pacific coast of Tohoku,
This is
there
a
will
late
be heavy
typhoon.
rain of more than 80 millimeters per hour. Along the Pacific coast of Tohoku, there may be mudslides and flooding rivers after dark, or while it is still dark. So caution is
Jesus
required.
said the sea will
And
roar
tide levels are
after
high
the Jews
in various places.
repossessed
This is the tide
Jerusalem.
level in the port of Shimizu and Shizuoka Prefecture. The tide level has exceeded the past record high. And over the coming few hours, caution is required for storm surges as well. Large and powerful typhoon around 6 o'clock will maintain its power and will approach to the Izu Peninsula, and around 9 o'clock tonight will go through Kanagawa and Tokyo, and around midnight on the 13th
See?
will
Tokyo.
proceed to Ibaraki Prefecture.
20 million in there,
Following
living
morning,
there.
it will move to the offshore of Sanriku. Typhoon, as the center approaches, it will bring
That's a mercy
heavy
anyway
rain,
that it's not going to
landslide,
the
and river flooding
is it
could happen, and
Fukichiwu
therefore the vigilance is required. Now we'd like to give an update on the Kanto and Koshi
power
region.
station. Forgot what it's
The
called.
large and powerful
Nuclear power
Typhoon
station.
19, Hagabis, has already bringing record amount of rainfall at 6 prefectures, Shizuoka, Kanagawa, Tokyo, Saitama, Gunma, Yamanashi, Nagano prefecture, are subject to heavy rainfall, and vigilance is required for these areas. At Saitama prefecture, there is a report from the local authorities. This is the specialist on the river analysis. Right now, Tamagawa, Arakawa, you're now
In Daniel chapter
observing
8,
the river system,
it says,
8 river
verse
system,
13
real
and
time.
14,
Yes. Please take a look at the screen.
that Jerusalem
Now,
would be
where
trodden
it's
down,
purple
right,
or
by the
red
Gentiles.
are the rivers with a high water
And that was
level.
in the time of Alexander the Great. The
You can see on
prediction
the
was
top,
333
Imajuku
BC.
Ota River is purple,
There was
3.89
2,300
meters. What
days
does this
given,
mean? If you take a look on the right hand
which is
side,
years.
you can see how the water
2,300
level
prophetical
has
years.
risen.
Do the maths.
We
333 BC
river that we
to
manage,
1967 is
there are
2,300 years,
rivers
when the
that
Jews
has
repossessed
exceeded the water
Jerusalem.
flooding, the flooding
Then
and
after
rain
that,
level,
the sea
and
will
it is-
roar.
the danger is imminent. And the
And
planned
now we
discharge
hear of global warming. Look how hot the
is
seas have
means
been off
that it's the
Japan.
water level that triggers the decision of the
And
planned
that
discharge
Hagabis
to
storm,
ensure safety. Yes,
when it started,
It is-
was one of the most intensive storms they've ever
for
seen.
areas we have that as a target so that we can discharge water to an area that is
Super
lower
typhoon.
than the target
And it
water
was
level.
started
However, we
within
see
hours.
Most of the area
It
has
formed
reached,
one of the quickest
Okeda
they've
River
ever seen.
has already reached that level. And Asakawa in Saitama and Tamagawa.
Why
and
is the
Arakawa
earth
in
warming
Arakawa
then?
system, and then also in the upstream of Den and
Well, the earth is
Shofu,
always
also
warmed.
is Tamagawa, is almost exceeding the flood warning level.
In the
correct?
Bible, it
Yes.
says there was
And that is indicated with this
grass growing in the deserts.
light blue color, and as the light blue color bar extends to the
There was
right
a
hand
lot
side,
of
the danger is imminent.
cattle, it says,
Yes,
in
of course it'll depend on how
Mosul
much of a rainfall
or
we
Nineveh.
see, but you can see the arrows here.
In the
You can
days of
see the
Jonah.
arrows pointing up and down. The one that's pointing up means
Now
that
it's a desert,
the rise is still expected.
right? So
So
God's
there's a
always
potential
warmed the
of
earth.
water level rising.
When it says
And
man
not this
destroys the
chart,
earth,
but also if you take a look at
Apocalypse,
the image
Revelation,
on the
it says,
top, this shows
God will
the
destroy those who
river
destroy the
state
earth, right?
in real time. This is in Yokohama City, Kohoku Ward in Kanagawa Prefecture.
How do they destroy the earth? It's not because of pollution from cars.
Is typically a riverbank, is it correct?
Volcanoes put a lot more
on the very right-hand
ash
side
into
image,
the air. I think it's because of
on the left-hand side,
nuclear.
And the right one
They destroy the earth with nuclear.
Bank where when the water
they pour it
rises, the water
explode
will
bombs
into
under the ground.
this right-hand side area. So typically, when the
Testing
water,
nuclear bombs.
So typically the water usually does not run into this area. However, now because
strange he says about a mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea.
And looking into the Hachioji City Asakawa Bridge,
a mountain represents the world.
Observatory, and it's been more than 3 hours since we've come here.
The world has got satellites in space. Thousands of them came down with a solar flare.
We saw at least half of it.
And it says it poisoned the waters of the earth.
Risen.
It could poison the earth.
You can see from the bank
the waters
that the
of the
water
earth.
level has risen.
One possibility.
And the rain is expected to continue to fall, and therefore we like to ask the resident not to get close to the river. And please be aware of the latest information.
So you need to get safety.
Once again, the latest on Typhoon Hagabis. The Japan Meteorological Agency has issued heavy rain emergency warnings for many parts of central and eastern Japan. The warnings were at the highest level in the agency's 5-stage scale. The designated areas are Shizuoka Prefecture, Kanagawa Prefecture, Tokyo, Saitama Prefecture, Gunma Prefecture, Yamanashi Prefecture, and Nagano Prefecture. These areas are experiencing severe rainfalls that are seen only once in several decades. There is an imminent danger of landslides and
This could be worse than the one they had 60 years ago.
It is possible that a disaster has already occurred. Officials are also calling residents in central Kanagawa Prefecture to exercise caution, as water may be released into the rivers from the Shiroyama Dam in Sagamihara City, north of the prefecture.
They now have to release water.
Is classified as very strong, is moving northwards of the Pacific towards Japan's main island of Honshu. Hagabis could be on par with a typhoon that killed more than 1,200 people in the Kanto and Izu regions in 1958. The agency has issued an emergency warning for landslides in Tokyo and Izu Shizuoka Prefecture. The meteorological agency is forecasting torrential rain through Saturday with a severe risk of floods and landslides, and it says winds could reach record speeds in some areas. The agency is also predicting storm surges along the Pacific coast of eastern Honshu from Saturday through Sunday.
Well, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and thou shalt be saved.
Emergency warning this afternoon and calling on people to do everything they can to protect themselves.
With the heart man believes to righteousness, with the mouth confession is made to salvation.
JMA is calling on people to move up to a higher floor or find a nearby strong building.
That's serious.
The Japan Meteorological Agency has issued heavy rain emergency warnings for many parts of central and eastern Japan. The warnings were at the highest level at the agency's 5-stage scale. The designated areas are Shizuoka Prefecture, Kanagawa Prefecture, Tokyo, Saitama Prefecture, Gunma Prefecture, Yamanashi Prefecture, and Nagano Prefecture. These areas are experiencing severe rainfalls that are seen only once in several decades. There is an imminent danger of landslides and flooding. Level 5 means it is possible that a disaster has already occurred. Officials are also calling residents in central Kanagawa Prefecture to exercise caution as water may be released into rivers from the Shiroyama Dam in Sagamihara City north of the prefecture. Typhoon Hagabis, classified as very strong, is moving northwards over the Pacific towards Japan's main island of Honshu. Hagabis could be on par with a typhoon that killed more than 1,200 people in the Kanto and Izu regions in 1958. The agency has issued an emergency warning for landslides in Tokyo and Izu Shizuoka Prefecture. The meteorological agency is forecasting torrential rain through Saturday with a severe risk of floods and landslides, and it says winds could reach record speeds in some areas. The agency is also predicting storm surges along the Pacific coast of eastern Honshu from Saturday through Sunday. The agency has issued heavy rain emergency warning this afternoon and calling on people to do everything they can to protect themselves. If people feel it is too dangerous to move to emergency facilities, JMA is calling on people to move up to a higher floor or find a nearby strong building.